He's not going to be some type of coach. So Art Browse is not one of the coaches with the Tiger Cats right now. Also with college football, can a defensive player win the Heisman? Can a defensive player win the Heisman? There's a lot of up-and-coming defensive players. It really hasn't happened, I don't think, since Woodson. I don't think that was. I think that was the last time that it probably happened. So you honestly, you think about the potential of these kids coming up. You think about the potential. Are they going to be able to? Can one of these guys win the Heisman? I don't think it's impossible. I definitely think it could happen. But that was one question that I wanted to talk about, and one thing I wanted to mention. And I don't think it's impossible. I think there's a strong possibility that it could happen. I want to give a rest in peace to Raleigh Massimino. He dies at 82. Led Villanova to the 1985 title. Has 816 career wins. And RIP to him. I believe he was at the championship game where Villanova won against my team, North Carolina. So RIP to him, died at 82 years old. And then let's talk about UFC, John Bones Jones. So it comes out saying that he passed the blood test the night of the UFC 2014 win over Daniel Cormier. But I guess it was the day before, or maybe it was after, that he failed the P test. So what does that mean? Is the title going to get stripped? What exactly does that mean? It makes this even more interesting with this saga. And we got our next guest up on the line, Raymond Weber, retired NFL wide receiver. How's it going?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good, man. I appreciate you taking time out of your Saturday to come on the show.
Oh, yeah, no problem. How everything going with you?
Man, going good, man. Football is here. I mean, it seemed like it took forever. You know, that drought between when the Super Bowl's over with and preseason and training camp. So I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of great things going on all levels. Always starting from Pee Wee all the way to the pros. So.
Yeah.
I'm glad football's back.
So, man, you went to college at University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, HBCU. Went to Morehouse, broke some records there. What was that experience like?
The HBCU experience is one of a kind. One, it's a smaller scale university, so it's more like a family. So when you're out there on the football field, you don't have fan strength, or you have family more than anything. And then the competition is like none other. I know a lot of people look at us like we're slated in competition-wise, but some of the greatest football players of all time in college and the NFL all played at HBCUs, like Walter Payton, Jerry Rice, Michael Strahan, Donald Driver, just to name a few.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I'm glad you brought up Jerry Rice, because you broke, well, you didn't actually break, but you had 101 receptions in a single season. The only other person to do that over 100 was Jerry Rice. That's an amazing stat to have.
I call Jerry Rice my big brother in the shadow I'm never going to be able to get rid of. Just only because our names going to always be associated with each other, but I wish it was vice versa, that I did break his record. But, you know, I'm just honored to be talked about in the same breath as him.
Yeah, definitely. To be mentioned in the same conversation with Jerry Rice is, man, beyond amazing. You know, what he's done for the wide receiver position, what he's done for football, NFL, period. So, man, you spent time in the NFL, the United Football League, the Indoor Football League, and the CFL. What were all those experiences like? You know, being able to play in so many different leagues, kind of travel across the country and the world.
It was first of all, the ability to be able to travel playing a game you love is one of a kind. I appreciate every league I played in also, solely because, you know, it gave me a different perspective of football, and each level made it its own type of fun. Secondly, it's tough. You know, once you take the game you love, and no matter how much money you're getting paid, the stress factor that comes in with it being your livelihood, that's one of those tough things. You know, it kind of starts to diminish the love you have for the game. So I'm happy, you know, that I got to play in the UFL because it kind of allowed me to have fun again with football. Even though I was getting paid, it allowed me to have fun with less stress than the NFL.
Yeah, and that's a great point. Now, concussions has been a big thing lately. It's been talked about a lot. There's been a movie about it. Some NFL players said, man, I'll die on the field. Some say, I'm watching my life, I'm watching my health. What's your experience on it, and kind of what's your take on people's stance with concussions?
Concussions are big, and it's crazy because sometimes we get concussions and not even know that it's a concussion. You know, we call it being shaken up, and it's just like you may go in, make a big hit, or get hit, and you pop up like woo, and you don't really remember what happened, but you didn't know what to call it. You know, you kind of get a memory loss for a couple of plays, and you're able to recuperate, and you're still able to go out there, so it's not a big thing. Whereas you may have some guys who get a concussion that, you know, they're out, like they get up wobbling and stuff like that. So there's different levels to it, but it's all the same. You know, it's all brain damage, so it's all big, but some things go undetected, like I said, because you don't know that you have a concussion sometimes. You know, you just kind of running around, and you finally come to. As long as you can remember plays and remember your name, you think you're fine. So that's where a lot of that, in the end, where guys were like, well, you know, you sign a paper and say, have you ever had a concussion? You really don't know. You really don't remember because you didn't know that's what it was called. And you say no, or you're afraid, you know, you won't be able to get another job if you do say yes. But it's serious. I mean, your brain is the central system to your whole body. So not being able to remember things, not being able to live regularly after you get done playing football, I mean, that's a huge thing.
Yeah, that's scary. I mean, I watched that concussion movie. I was kind of blown away just with, you know, the NFL stance at first, and then eventually starting to talk about testing, starting to talk about doing different things to learn more about it, because it was honestly fairly, I think, new with people, a lot of other guys that have played dying from CTE or dying from certain things. So I'm glad the NFL is starting to take a stance on it and starting to really focus in on what they can do early on, what they can do with Pee Wee, you know, Pop Warner, all the way up to NFL, you know, and how they can address it.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a great job with the modifications they're making to the helmets right now, and they're doing a lot of tests. You know, the brain loss test, the memory test that they have us doing when you first come in the NFL. They make you do a test to see how good your memory is, but it's just so tough because, I mean, even from being young, sometimes you just don't remember. Like, I remember, you know, having a concussion in high school and not knowing that it was a concussion. I just went in and made tackle. It was a third down play, so I came out, you know, after when special teams came on the field. So after 2 plays, I was ready to get back in the game. I didn't realize that I had a concussion. Nobody came and checked on me. And then 2, you know, there's not a lot of medics on the sideline in Pop Warner, Pee Wee football, middle school football, or high school football, you know, to really check. Now they're doing a better job of having them in high school. But, I mean, the younger kids, there's nobody really out there except for the parents to say, oh, you know, my child is hurt, let me take him to the hospital.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I'm so great you're on the show to give the perspective of the player and not really knowing that something actually happened. Once again, we're talking with Raymond Weber, retired NFL wide receiver, went to University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff. So what are you doing now? You know, your playing days are over. Do you possibly see yourself maybe coming back to playing pro football?
I work out every day, so it's a chance. You know, if the opportunity permits, I would make a return on the gridiron. But right now, I own a gym in Augusta, Georgia called MTAG, More Than a Game Athlete Development Center. And we teach the basis of athleticism, sportsmanship, just trying to teach the athletes beyond the gridiron, beyond the basketball court, that sports are actually more than a game. So that's what I'm doing now currently. We have about 35 college athletes, 60 high school athletes, Pee-wee. That number is just growing vastly. And we train all kinds of sports down here in Augusta, Georgia. But yeah, that's what I'm currently doing now. So I'm still attached to the game in a sense.
Definitely. And everybody, make sure you go check that out. That's More Than a Game Athletics. And what's the website if you want to shout that out real quick?
It is www.mtagfitness.com. We also have an app on the Apple Store and the Android market. It's MTAG, MTAG.
Definitely. And I got a lot of listeners in Georgia, so hopefully there may be some people reaching out to you. So, you know, you grew up in Missouri, you went to college in Arkansas. What team or teams do you follow as far as the NFL and sports?
Now it's more of a where my athletes play at type of thing. Just because I did play in the NFL, it's kind of hard to have a favorite team because I had the Rams when I was younger. But, of course, they moved to L.A., so, right. Yeah, so I kind of can't root for them anymore because they're not the home team. So it's just kind of wherever I have playing at, I kind of root for those teams on those days. And whenever I got friends playing in college, I'm freelance. You know, I enjoy watching my guys. I got guys at Clemson, guys at Middle Tennessee, Mercer. So I enjoy watching them. So Saturday, I'm a fan of whatever college my kids are playing at the time.
Yeah, and that's great to really be able to impart into these young guys the experiences that you've had. So I definitely commend you for doing that and encouraging these young guys coming up. Man, so
yeah,
you know, playing all the different leagues, I thought this would be an interesting question. Do you see any league truly competing with the NFL? They own Sundays, or they own Thursdays now.
The NFL is like the big brother, and wherever it wants to go, it will be able to go. So if it wanted to play football Monday through Sunday, I'm pretty sure people will still view. Respectively, the CFL has its own audience, you know, because it's all the way in another country. It's Canadian football. So their viewings come more from Canada than the United States. So they have their own kind of demographic. But as far as the other leagues, it's hard to get a fan base behind them, like the UFL and the XXL. They all try it, but it's hard to get the fans behind them, even the TV viewers. You know, they get these sponsorships and they work these deals with these broadcast stations, but you don't get a lot of people tuned in just because you got the NFL, there's Big Brother that people want to see. They want to see the people whose jerseys they have. You have college football that plays on the days that the NFL don't play. So where do you fit these developmental leagues and these leagues, you know, that's trying to compete with the NFL? And it's tough just because you might even put one in Sacramento or Utah where they don't have teams at, but that's still hard. You know, they don't have the support that they need. So I don't see anybody competing against the NFL anytime soon.
Yeah, I definitely would have to agree with you. So we got Raymond Weber, former NFL wide receiver, has a company called More Than a Game Fitness and Athletics. Go to mtagathletics.com. I appreciate you, man, for so much for coming on the show, taking time out. mtagfitness.com. And man, have a good rest of your Saturday, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, and you too.
All right, take care.
All right.
All right, that was Raymond Weber, retired NFL wide receiver. That was great. Great to get him on the show. Definitely excited He talked about his business that he has and what he's doing now after his playing career. Chief is back in the building. He says, "I'm back."